Okay, here we are, part 2 of the Tamiya Honda F1 build. It's gonna be mostly preparations, I think. I think this is not gonna be a very long video. I just have half an hour to get my head around how to do this. One of the things that I always find very difficult, that I'm always struggling with, is when to start painting. When you look how others do it, there are various ways of doing it. Some build, well, the whole kit or most of the kit and then start painting it. And they just, are very meticulous with masking tape and other ways of making sure that the paint is only there where it needs to be. I always thought it's easier to, if there are different colors on one, like assembly, if we look at this, I have to find out what colors are used here. If it's all the same color, obviously we will just put this all together and then paint it as an assembly. But it is possible that these little parts have a different color than the other parts, and then obviously it's much easier to first paint the little parts and then put everything together. The problem with that is that you have to really look at all the colors before you start building and make sure that you've got everything painted, and you keep switching back and forth. I mean, if this is black and silver, for instance, okay, you get your black, maybe you get your spray gun ready, and you look for these couple of parts, you spray them black, and that's it. And then you start building, and maybe 3 or 4 pictures down the page, there are some other things that need to be black. So then it becomes a case of going through all the steps, identify all the parts that need to be black, then take them off the sprues, put them all together, on sticks or whatever. I use stuff like this to just put the stuff on. It's like with some tack. In Dutch we call them buddies, but it just sticks stuff to the little wooden toothpicks. Anyway, and then you paint or spray all of that, and you do that with all the colors, and then you start assembling. But that's a bit tedious to do, not very fun to do, because you're just doing preparations before you finally can start building. Another problem that I find is that the parts that you have painted and look very good, when you start assembling them, there is a big chance that you damage them, that the paint will come off. First of all, where you glue them, the paint has to come off, so then you have to go and file or sand down things, and that's also not always a good thing. So I'm always in between whether I should do everything in advance or I should do it once it's assembled. I don't have a solution for that. Maybe if you guys can help me with your experience and what you think is best, that might help. For now, what I'll do first is go through the colors that I need, especially the main colors, and find out. I mean, luckily here it says ivory white actually, and not just a number, and here it says chrome silver. But if you look at, for instance, this says ivory white, so I would think that the whole assembly is ivory white. So if I put these little handles on and put this together, that can be painted white as a whole. So that's a no-brainer. If we go to this, it says chrome silver, and as far as I can see, it's also everything that's gonna be chrome silver, so that's easy. but sometimes you find that it's not exactly true, that if you look at pictures, some of these parts are a different color. So anyway, I'm talking a lot now. That's just the way it goes in preparation. I need to know what to do. This is all ivory white. Same here. If we go down here, it's a little bit more difficult because this is a combination of ivory white, chrome silver, flat black. This is chrome silver too. Some decals, but probably if I look at this, almost everything is white, and some parts are another color. So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna paint these separate, or am I gonna put this all together and then paint them? I think I'm gonna do that separately because that dashboard is black and it's very difficult to paint that after assembly. Same with this. And then you come to the next question. Another thing that I'm always struggling with. It seems like this is not a great hobby at all when I'm talking about it this way, but it is. It's just sometimes difficult to find out what's best. The thing is that you have to decide whether you use a brush to paint stuff or you use the spray gun. The problem is that sometimes if you just have this one little flat black part and it's a dashboard, so you want it to look nice, and you have to prepare your spray gun and do all that, and then spray this one little part and then clean it up again. I tend to think, well, you know, that's a lot of work, let's just take a brush and do it that way. Problem with that is that a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times it just doesn't look good. Can be maybe the thickness or the age of the paint, maybe it's the brushes, I don't know what it is, but sometimes it's okay, but a lot of times it just doesn't look good, and spray painting it is the way to go. Again, coming back, we're almost full circle now, because that would mean that it's best to, if you're gonna spray paint stuff, to just gather all the flat back parts from all the pages, put them all together and spray them in one go. So now we're back to square one, because that might be the way of doing it, and all the other things that I just mentioned might not be the way to do it. But anyway, let's not dwell too much on this. I'm gonna go and look and decide what to do over the next couple of days. Maybe again, if you guys can help me with the way that you do it, what your experiences are, maybe you've got the same struggle that I have, please let me know. I think the main goal of this channel is, you know, to talk to each other about this stuff, because you see a lot of channels where very how do you say that? Very good model builders build most beautiful stuff. Everything is beautiful. There's no problems, and it just raises the bar so much that a lot of people think I'm not even going to try, because I'm not getting it, you know, as good looking as I saw it on this or that video. Well, you know, it's probably not the case. I mean, there are more people that struggle and make mistakes than there are that make beautiful things that are just without any problems. So again, let's just go through this together. I would love to hear from you and interact a little bit with you. So I'll put this video up, leave it up for a couple of days, so you have the chance to react to it, and maybe after reading your comments, we can together move to the next step and see what's the best way of doing this. Again, thanks very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.